This is going on?
Got multiple lives, you guys. We're live all over the place.
We're live
on Facebook. We're live on Jenny's Instagram.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
All
right, welcome.
Welcome, everyone. Okay, that took a couple minutes to get started.
Yeah, sorry. Hopefully you just fast forwarded through that part.
It was just me sitting there. But welcome to Crystals and Coffee. It's our first live stream, and we're so happy to have you here.
Yeah, we're really excited. We've got some good questions. We're just going to pull from a hat. So thank you, everyone who submitted one. I'm kind of nervous to see what's in there, but we're going to go for it. This is just like our space to share things that we're learning, to answer questions that we get from you, and to provide a space where we can honestly just grow together. It's a way for us to put ourselves out there and kind of get the ball rolling on this entrepreneurial track that we're both on, and just share and be vulnerable and get some growth going on.
Totally. Yeah, and hopefully our stories can help you guys and vice versa as far as self-development and relationships and spirituality and nutrition. We're both in grad school for nutrition right now.
Yes.
At UNM. Holla! The School of Hogwarts. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to go through some questions. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, let's see what we got in here.
They're good.
Thank you for everyone who submitted them. They're really helping us. Okay, what inspires you most about the other person? That is a great first question. Okay, I'll go first. There's a lot of things I could say here. I think that Jenny and I's like coming together, it felt really purposeful. Like it felt like it was meant to happen. And I think that what inspires me most about Jenny is just like her go mentality. Like she's always working on new projects. Like she's definitely the one who got the ball rolling on this. Her work ethic and her dreams inspire me, and she doesn't seem to like ever feel, even though it's probably on the inside, she never seems to feel like nervous or like she's holding back. Like she really kind of like pushes through that barrier of fear really awesomely, and like that is something I admire the most. And like I could go on, like this could be a whole show about things I love about you. It honestly could. Maybe birthday episode, it'll just be me talking about how much I love you. But that's one of the things that inspires me and like my growth as a person is just like not letting that wall stop you. So
totally
cool.
Oh my gosh, that was so sweet. Thank you.
She's blushing. You can't see it, but she's blushing.
I am blushing. Thank you. I think, like Mia said, when we first started we met on Facebook.
Yeah, we met on Facebook.
Through our school housing group, not just by super chance, but it was a little bit by chance with our school housing group. And I remember thinking that my next living situation, I was wanting to live alone, but I felt like something deep inside me was like, you know, you need to challenge yourself and you need to put yourself out there more, because I know if I'm a hermit, then I'll just stay a hermit forever. And that's not for my highest good. And that was just like the easiest path. And so when I saw Mia post her Facebook post and she had pictures of her apartment,
I was like, my decorating skills.
I was like, this girl has like talent and knowing how to fill a space. And I think that was just so important. It's something that like for me, I hadn't really taken much consideration in how important that is. And I think when you said once, you were like, why don't we have a place where we can come home and it's our oasis? Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, like I never thought about that before. So I really admire your way to just go into any space and like be able to just know where everything goes. And I know that's like doesn't seem like a huge like life altering skill, but for me it is, because it makes all the difference. Like this is where we live and people come here and we stay here. And I think that's just like a huge lesson. Like look at your external environment. And if it's not mirroring something you feel on the inside, then obviously find more people like Mia to help you.
Yeah, you know? And that's actually a huge thing I've learned this year is just that creating like your space is an outward reflection of what you're going through. And so for me, it was really important to create like a really clean, organized like space where we could bring together people and like have people over and kind of like start creating this home in this community, because that was a reflection of the way I wanted to live my life. So
totally. And besides that part, which that's how she hook, line, and sank me. I was like, I think I'm gonna just reach out. Maybe something will happen. Maybe she'll like me. Yeah. And then we ended up talking on the phone, and it was just this very divine conversation that just flowed, and I was like, oh, this girl seems really cool. And then we met up, and I was like, wow, it's like we've known each other before, and we probably have in other lifetimes. And just be able to be around someone like you. You're very strong, like a strong woman, and I really admire that. And I think for me to have someone like you in my life, it's taught me just to be assertive and like don't back down on things that make you make you smaller, I guess. What I'm trying to say is, and I feel like your presence is just so powerful in a way that people are like, oh, that's Mia, like that's her. And I just want people to think about that about me too, and what I admire about you. So
yeah. We mirror.
Yep.
Also, don't take shit from anybody. Be strong. All right, ready for the next one?
Yep.
Oh God, discuss the millennial generation. Is this from your mom?
Yep.
Yeah.
She's on, I think, right now.
Oh, millennials. You know, it's so funny. I was in a bar. I went out on Halloween with two friends, B and Chloe, what up? And we were standing next to this woman, and she turned around and she asked us if we had voted, and I nodded yes. And then the other girls were like, we don't know if we are, like we're registered at home. And she just laid into us. It was actually really intense. I was like a little removed from the conversation because number one, I'm old now and I was tired and I was ready to go home.
Now?
Yeah. And number two,
I'm an old millennial.
I was like, I mean, I voted, so it's chill. But she was just like, you millennials, you're so selfish, blah, blah, blah. And what she said that really stuck with me is she said, you have the power to change things and you're not. And that resonated with me, even though her energy was really intense. I was like,
it's true.
I live in this bubble of people that are voting for the most part and that are trying to change things. But yeah, a lot of people are resigned. They're lazy. They're caught up in their lives. If things aren't like clicks or buttons,
instant gratification,
we're not doing them.
Yeah.
So in regards to our generation, I think that we have the potential to move things forward. Totally. I don't know that it's happening on the level that it could be. What do you think?
I would also agree. I think being alive in 2018, and I think something so special about the millennials is that we witnessed going from the non-digital age to everything's digital.
Yeah.
Like I remember before, cell phone. I remember in middle school when someone got the first iPhone when we were in 8th grade, and that was just like, whoa, that's insane. And now like second graders have tablets and an iPhone and all of this. So it's so interesting for us to go from that analog, more predominantly analog, to digital. And I think while we have that experience, it's special for us because we understand what it's like not to have that instant gratification. Like it takes.
That's true.
Yeah. So I think we can make a lot of difference. It's just that I don't think we should get so overwhelmed with because there's so much going on. You know what I'm saying?
There's so much, and I think we tune out. Like I feel like my parents pay attention to the news, and my friends' parents pay attention to the news more than we do. It's like there's kind of been this wall put up that's like, I can't handle this, don't want to engage with it. And I mean, there's a lot of things you could say about millennials. Like,
yeah, but it's about anybody though.
Yeah,
like any humans.
It's true.
Like my mom.
Are you a millennial? What's the cat? Like, is it what years do you have to be born?
I think it's like 86 or 85 or 87.
Till 2000.
Or to like 95 or something.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
Anyways,
my mom said, "Did you vote?" Not yet. I should soon. And Chelsea said, "Eek, I love you too. Love you.
Love you, Chelsea." Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Oh God. What's your love life like lately? Let's talk about Jenny's. It's thrilling.
I'll go first. Although
I know this question is for my friend Courtney, so thanks, Holla. Might as well get personal here.
My love life it's been very interesting in the past year. I've gone through a lot of change, and actually Mia's been there,
through part of it, yeah.
Yeah, through the huge transition. Last year when I started grad school, I was in a different relationship than I am in now, and I did a lot of growing and just a lot of. For me, it taught me what do I really want out of life? Am I going to stay on this page of life with this person, or am I going to go to this page where I really want to be?
Yeah.
And it was really hard for me to figure that out and going through a breakup kind of at the end of last year, and that's actually when me and I met. And it was funny because her and I actually around the same time had broken up with our significant others.
Yeah,
at the
it was
time.
around the same time.
Yeah, and so that was a lot of character development for me. But on the bright side, I was able to meet who I'm dating now. He actually goes to UNM. He's a Chinese medicine student, and it's been really good. It's a lot of like
you crash through a barrier and you come out on the other side. That's what it's all about.
What about you?
My love life is with myself right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Raise the roof.
Raise the roof. Dating. Yeah, of course I'm dating. Dating is really interesting. Like, I think if we could approach it in this way, that's like all these people that we're coming into contact with and we're dating and we're seeing and developing feelings for, like, they're all our teachers and they're teaching us lessons, and they're just like guiding us to wherever we're going. It's like, that seems really vague, but I don't want to say guiding us to our person, because then that makes that the end goal, and I don't know that that's the end goal for me or should be for anyone, but they're just guiding us in general, guiding us to more deeper love and deeper connections. And so my love life is it's about like taking all of those opportunities and learning from them and taking them and just being really open to whatever the universe is wanting to teach me. And to be honest, sometimes I don't like the lessons. I'm like, I don't want to learn this. No more fuckboys. Like, big no. Yeah. Like, I thought I had a really good fuckboy radar, but they still crop up, let me tell you.
Oh,
they find a way. They have like veils of no fuckboy, but really underneath it's fuckboy. They've learned, yeah. They've learned to mask it. It's crazy.
They've evolved.
Oh shit.
So watch out.
Evolving fuckboys. But yeah, I would say that my love life is just open, and that I think that it's really important for all of you single women out there. I think it's really important to like let go of the idea of finding a partner for marriage and procreation. And you can want to have kids, and that's fine. But I think it's really important to let go of that idea, because I think it limits us. So then we are acting in a way that's pushing us towards that. And I think that if you can go about dating in like this way that I want to gain new experiences and I want to learn about myself and I want to learn about these people, and you don't have expectations, then it can be such a beautiful thing.
Exactly.
And of course you still open yourself up to being hurt. And to getting hurt.
Part of the journey.
But you're teaching yourself resilience. And like, that's the biggest thing that I learned, is like, I'm teaching myself resilience through every interaction. And like, the faster I can bounce back and the faster I can say no to people who are wrong for me and like let that go, the quicker I'm going to like move into this kind of more elevated space of myself. And I'm not there yet.
I mean, yeah, we all are.
It's like we all have there. I can see it and I can feel it. And I'm like, kind of like coming up into this like higher elevated place where my self-worth is not challenged by my dating life.
Like external validation.
Yeah, external validation. So it's like those things crop up. I think that for women especially, it's like sometimes we don't even know we want to be with a person, but we are searching for it because we want to be validated by that person, even though we don't want to be with them. So like, I see that coming up a lot for me. I'm like, ooh, I'm searching for validation. I want to be validated. Like, this hurts because I'm not getting validated.
And that's really rooted in fear.
And that's all rooted in fear, and it's all rooted in self-worth. So like, the question is like, how do we come back into ourselves in that moment? If we're like irritated that this guy isn't texting us, or that this guy did this, it's like, why are we looking outside of ourselves? Like, and how can we come back into ourselves? So it's like, it's like, why doesn't this guy want to be with me? It's like, why don't I want to be with me?
Yeah, that's like the better question.
Yeah. So yeah, love lives.
Very exciting. I'm sure we'll have more to update each time we get on.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I wrote that one.
Oh my God.
Show me your boobs. Just kidding. What's your take on intermittent fasting?
Good. That's Adrian. I hope you're watching this. I'm not going to show Facebook Live my boobs, so nice try. Do you have any thoughts on it?
I guess for me, I've done it a few times myself, not long consecutive weeks or even days. I think I've done it probably like 2 or 3 days at max. And I think it's really individual. And one thing that these, not fad diets, but trends, I just hope that people are taking into account that they need to listen to their bodies.
Yeah.
You know, and I've heard a few people talk about intermittent fasting who aren't necessarily taking into account if that's right for them.
Yeah.
Like it might be right for this social media influencer they saw, but then incorporating that in their life is a different story. So I think it's just individual.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, that's anything with the diet. It's like everything's so individual. So I intermittent fast like every night, pretty much every day. So I eat dinner around 6, 7, 8, and then I drink coffee and with bulletproof coffee. So I put coconut oil or collagen in it, and then I usually don't eat till around noon. And I started doing this about 6 months ago, and maybe longer. And the reason I like it is, number one, it's fast and cheap in the morning. Like I don't have to worry about breakfast. Number two, I feel like it gives my body this break to digest. And then
Totally.
yeah,
I felt that too.
It feels really good. It's like I'm not always like weighed down by food. And it also, it stabilizes your blood sugar. And so like what happens when it's kind of like this you can almost put your body into ketosis by doing this. And so when you eat carbohydrates, your body does this process called glycolysis, right? And so you're taking the carbohydrate, you're breaking it down, and you're like sending it out to your organs, and you're getting energy from it. And when you don't have that coming in, your body does the reverse process, gluconeogenesis. So you're taking fat, and then you're converting that back into energy, like through basically the opposite pathway. Did I get that right? Yeah. Still learning.
She's learning this. It's cool.
And so when you're doing that, like your blood sugar is like really stable. You're potentially burning fat. So if you have a goal for weight loss, weight management, it can be good for that. But for me, my body's just kind of adjusted. I don't really get hungry in the mornings anymore. And I just feel kind of like lighter and more awake, especially for class in the morning. I would caution, my friend Adrienne asked, is like particularly for women, the issues that I see cropping up. I know that there can be some questions about like hormones, and like I've heard it can balance hormones. I've heard it can throw your hormones off. So I haven't done enough research to speak to that. But the one thing that I would caution is that specifically for women, I think it can be really triggering if you've ever had an eating disorder or if you've ever had disordered eating. Yeah, because you're restricting. So if you're hungry in the morning, like freaking eat.
Yeah.
And if you're not, then don't.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
Listen to your body.
Listen to your body.
Yeah. And that's one thing in my second year of this nutrition program that I'm really focusing on, is the mindful intuitive eating. Yeah. And what I think is such a powerful way to approach food. And with intermittent fasting, like the times I've done it too, I feel lighter. And there's something, I don't remember the name of it, but there's something in your GI tract that when you, in between meals, it goes through and kind of cleans up it's like the little vacuum cleaner, and it goes through and kind of cleans up your GI tract. And so when you do intermittent fasting, it allows for you to kind of just like to reset and digest and like get all of that. So your body's not constantly digesting food all of the time, because that actually taxes your whole body, putting energy there. So
I mean, yeah, it's exhausting. Our digestive systems work so hard. Chew your food.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just inhale my food.
Too. I'm
like, I didn't chew that. I just swallowed it.
I eat so fast.
Yeah, me too.
And I learned it from my mom.
Yeah.
I know she's on here. I eat so fast. It's horrendous. I mean, that's why I want to learn more about my mindful eating.
Yeah. Mindful eating is huge. We'll do a live on that.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's practice it for a week, and then we'll do a live on it.
Cool.
All right. We ready for the next one?
I think so.
Okay. How often do you meditate? That's a great question.
Not enough. Once a week.
Yeah. I was really good for a while. It was like every morning 5 minutes, and lately it's been never. So just like full transparency there.
It's crazy, but that's the thing I'm trying to figure out too, is like how to be so committed even when life is intense.
Yeah, it's a great skill to learn. I'm trying to learn that too. I meditated for the first time like 2 days ago because I was feeling stressed about something, and I was like, God, why don't I do this? I was just sitting in bed. I didn't, sometimes I feel like I have to wake up and I have to light my sage and put my candle on and sit on my pillow. Yeah. And it's like, you don't. Like, you can just lay in bed in the morning and just set a timer for 5 minutes. And I just do a slow, like, inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and hold at the bottom for 4 seconds. that's honestly just 5 minutes. You can do that.
That's what is so accessible about it, and I think what a lot of people are scared about it. Like, I don't want to meditate. Like, I don't know how.
Yeah.
You know, and
It's just breathing.
It's just breathing and just centering yourself in that moment. And I want to do it more than once a week.
Yeah.
Like, I'm definitely not doing it.
We love sleeping, you guys.
Oh my God, team sleep.
Team sleep. We're so great at it.
Just love it.
It's really inspiring to be living with someone who loves to sleep as much as I do.
What's your go-to snack?
Oh, this is great. So with the way that I eat, intermittent fasting, I tend to limit like carbohydrates, particularly processed. I honestly don't get that hungry in between meals. Like, I eat really high protein, fibrous meals, and I don't usually tend to snack that much. But there are times, like when I come home, and it's just been the Simple Mills paleo crackers.
Yeah.
Like, I'm obsessed with those. I'll eat those with hummus. I'll eat those plain. That is like literally the only thing I snack on. Sometimes I'll eat an RX bar. I like the chomped, like grass-fed beef or like organic turkey sticks. Like anything with protein. Handful of cashews.
Yeah. I think when I'm not in a stressed out state, my go-to snacks are hummus, and like if there's an avocado laying around, I'll eat that because of the high fat, high protein. But honestly, with school and life and everything, usually I just find something sweet like a cookie sometimes. So I can't really think. I haven't really had much time to like.
I don't really see you snack either. Sometimes you eat yogurt.
Yeah, if I get the coconut yogurt to get in those healthy bacteria. But like if I'm at school, I'll just go get like a bar or something, or get a kombucha or something. I love snacking. Oh my gosh, chips.
Oh,
what am I saying? Chips. What am I saying?
What is my go-to snack?
Chips?
Potato chips. Like the worst thing for you.
I love kettle chips so much.
Oh, they're so good.
I stopped eating them for 3 weeks to not try to eat fried anything, and I was really sad.
We can't buy them. We finished them
within that day.
It's all balance, you know. Potato chips are okay. They're good for your soul.
That's what I'm saying.
I think there's two schools of thought on this. Like snack because it increases your metabolism and you get less hungry and you
don't eat as much.
You don't eat as much. And then there's the other school of thought that if you're eating a balanced meal of fat, fiber, and protein, like you shouldn't need to snack. Like you shouldn't get that hungry between meals. Like if you're eating really good hearty meals, if you're not eating stuff that's full of sugar and processed carbohydrates, they just turn into sugar in your body, same thing, then you don't get those blood sugar spikes, and that is what makes you hungry. So when your blood sugar spikes and then it dips, basically all the insulin in your body is like, feed me, and you get hungrier. And so if you're eating a really balanced diet, like I don't really think that you need to be snacking all the time.
Right.
But there's always the emergency cookie.
Totally. Or chips.
Or potato chips. Okay, what wisdom do you get from old people? Ooh. Oh God, so much.
I know.
Yeah.
I actually really like working with the elderly, and it's something that I'm going to try to focus on in one of my internships is working at the Hollywood Senior Center here in Portland. And one reason I am so drawn to that, I either want to work with children or old people, in between at the moment, because I just feel like there's so much to learn at the beginning of life and at the end of life. And as far as elderly people go, like for example, in high school, I did my final senior project on psychology of the elderly, and I interviewed my grandma in her assisted living place, and like some of her friends, I interviewed them, and I just think people are so afraid of getting old. Obviously, we haven't been there yet, so we don't know, so we're going to be afraid of it. And also just dying in general is just this almost taboo thing people don't want to talk about. But I think the more we get comfortable with being in that stage of life, the easier it is to enter that gracefully. And also just the wisdom and like think about it, if you become in your 80s and no one wants to talk to you or like ask for your advice, or if no one's interested, then it's like that would just be sad.
Yeah.
I
agree. All my grandparents have passed away, so that I don't talk to a lot of old people. I don't really want to call my parents old people because first of all, they'd be super offended, and I don't think they're that old.
They're in their not golden, prime, right?
Yeah, my parents are happy. They're killing it.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from them, but I wouldn't categorize them as old. I think that what I learned from old people, or elderly, that sounds more, that sounds kinder,
is
to slow down. And I always think about that article they posted. They did a study on people on their deathbed and what they regretted. And it was always like they never regretted like they always regretted like not spending more time or like going on that trip. They never like said that they were super stoked that they like went for that CEO position and spent their entire like young life working,
like burning themselves out.
They regretted the little things. They regretted the experiences. And so I think that's definitely something that we can learn from older people. And if I do get a chance, I think that's something I'll consider asking them, like what do you feel like you regret? And then learn from that and do those things.
Those are just a plethora of life experiences in
Yeah.
there. All right, let's see what we got. Oh. How do you find balance between healthy spiritual living and also participating in human things such as like going out late or partying, etc.?
Yeah, this is a great question.
Yeah, I like this question a lot.
My friend sent this to me. I think the first answer for me is sometimes I don't.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just get it straight here. We're human AF.
Human AF. We're young, we're living in Portland, we have fun. No, I think it's more like the intention. And so there are nights that, we go out and we have fun and we spend money drinking. And then we're useless the next day and we don't do much. We're not like waking up and going to yoga and going on walks and drinking green tea.
Totally not.
Yeah. But I think it's more about just like allowing yourself to have fun is super important.
Yeah.
And finding that balance and being social and going out and meeting new people. For me, partying is not about getting drunk and detaching. It's about like having a couple drinks and connecting, especially moving to a new city. Like I've met so many amazing people at shows and like listening to live music, and it's not about getting fucked up anymore like it was in college and losing myself. It's about just like having a good time and making new connections. And I think that is part of like a spiritually fulfilled life.
Gosh. Totally.
Yeah.
I so agree with you on that. And for me, especially where I am in my life right now, I feel that I still want to be out in those social situations. And now I'm really challenging myself. How do I not get drunk and still enjoy it?
That's big.
We're back online.
Okay.
It's like poor connection. How do I, not get blasted and then feel like that's the only way I can feel comfortable there?
Yeah.
In a large social situation. And I've found recently that I really enjoyed not like drinking a lot in places and just like actually talking to people and like really connecting and just not having to rely on that liquid courage to feel comfortable, because I felt like that's a lot of the reason why I would go out and like, I'm gonna like be more more friendly. But now I'm really challenging myself to step out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. And I also think it's just like, again, tuning into yourself, listening to your body. You maybe have a week where you're going out a lot and you're staying up late, and then you need a week off or 2 weeks off. And so you go hiking instead with your friends, or you stay in and you have a glass of wine with your girlfriends and make a cheese plate or whatever it may be. It's just kind of like finding that balance between going out and having fun and then kind of slowing down, and also just not judging yourself. Like you can go out and party and still be like a spiritual,
I'm like the worst at that
person. Like don't judge yourself for having fun, and know your limits. Like I've never had alcohol abuse problems or drug abuse problems, so that's not a big challenge for me. And if you've had those issues, then that's something to look at. Totally. And I just can't really speak to that.
Yeah, I mean, so just listen to your body too. And
I think you can kind of tell when you're like, ooh, I've been partying too much. Like it's time to go inward. So stay at home with a cup of tea, light a candle.
Exactly. And meditate.
You can meditate for us. Okay, this is a good one. Any meditations for specific chakras or moods? I think she also said mantras in this question. Mantras.
Yeah. I love affirmations, and if you go to my Instagram profile, I used to post more, and there's a period in my life for about 3 months where mantras were really helping me a lot, and I think they're so powerful, especially if you have that emotional conviction behind them. I think that's the key piece, because we can just say like, oh, I want to be really strong or whatever, and if you're saying that with this weak heart, then you're not going to really believe it. So I think you really need to have that emotional connection to whatever you're trying to affirm.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think a lot about, so throat chakras, that's like one of the biggest for me, is like just being heard, getting my voice out there. Like I feel a lot of,
Is that a package?
someone here? I think we got an Amazon package.
It always freaks me out for a second. I'm like, who's coming in?
Yeah. So blockages there is like, so that's more about like speaking my truth. So like a good mantra or affirmation for that is like, what I have to say is valuable and will bring value, and like anything like that. So usually what I do when I kind of come up against something that I'm struggling with is I kind of pinpoint the way that I'm feeling. So it's like, I'm feeling unworthy, I'm feeling rejected, I'm feeling whatever it may be that's negative, and I just try and flip that, and then that's how you can create your own mantras. Like you can go to Sanskrit, you can like find these beautiful Indian mantras, right, and you can listen to mantra music, and like that's great, and I've definitely done that before and I love that. But you can also just kind of create them. So it's like, if you're feeling unworthy, it's just, I am worthy. Like
totally,
it's really as simple as that, and just repeating those things to yourself, and soon they become second nature. And then when you kind of practice mindfulness, you become aware of those negative thoughts that kind of crop up in your head, and you can just instantly flip them. Totally. It's like, oh, I'm feeling anxious and unworthy, and
you can catch it way faster.
Yeah, and then it's like, what? But I am worthy, and I have self-worth, and I love myself, and I'm not being rejected. Yeah. Like, I think when people reject us, it's actually the universe like helping us out. Like they're taking themselves off our radar for us. And like, I love Mark Groves from Create the Love always says this, like when someone ghosts you, and this can apply to like other situations, it's like they're dumping themselves for you. And I love that. It's like they're just getting themselves out of the way. Like, bye. Thanks for, isn't that amazing? Yeah. I love that. I think about that all the time. You don't have to do any work. Like they just leave, and you're like, cool, thanks for doing that for me. Peace. Have a good life. Anyways. Ghosters. Should we have a whole episode on that?
I think so.
What are favorite self-care practices? That's a good one.
I think for me is just, I really love music.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I just like zoning out to music, man. Just either in my car or here at our house or anywhere. I think
she sings in the shower, guys. I hear it.
Thanks.
It's pretty cute.
Oh, thanks. So that's probably my number one. Like I said, I want to do more meditation, but I think also nature.
Yeah,
getting out in nature has been so helpful for me, and just stepping outside of a space, if you've been in a space for a while, just shifting your energy, I think is really valuable.
For me, it's definitely music. When I think about kind of like staying in and tuning into myself and practicing self-care, I think about lighting my favorite Anthropology candle, turning on like my girly, like, I don't know, empowering music, Maggie Rogers, love Maggie Rogers, and just like hanging out with myself and drinking tea, and like maybe like reading some inspiring books or watching some YouTube videos. Like I love self-help YouTube videos, like putting on something cozy, and like that's my self-care. I also do think about getting out in nature. We live right by Laurelhurst Park, and like going on a walk in the morning, 20 minutes, like that's definitely self-care for me.
Totally.
Cooking huge. Cooking a beautiful meal is like the ultimate self-care. And cleaning our house, that to me feels like, that just feels so like
therapeutic for you.
So all those things.
So good.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be pedicures, it doesn't have to be shopping.
Right.
Have their place.
Yeah, they have their perks.
Yeah.
But I think finding the calm in like these simple things, especially just like sitting and listening to music, is so incredible. And also, like I said, I want to meditate more, but I think what I also want to do is find meditation through other avenues, just like walking meditation.
Totally
like doing the dishes and you're meditating.
Totally a thing.
Driving and you're basically meditating, but pay attention. Don't do that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can
Officer pulls you over. I'm sorry, I was meditating while I was driving.
Oh my god.
Just spaced out for a second there. I was really into it. I'm sure you'd get off on that again. Watering my plants.
Yeah.
Self-care.
Totally.
Yeah. What's one thing you're working on currently to better yourself? This is a great one.
You go first.
Okay. So something I've been thinking about a lot lately, especially since I moved in with Jenny, is this idea of like magnetism when it comes to creating a community and inspiring and uplifting other women. So I haven't had drama in my life for a really long time. I don't really believe in gossiping, talking shit about people. Like, it comes up. I'm not perfect. But when I was doing my yoga teacher training, something that really stuck with me is my teacher, she said, I think it's one of the niyamas, I can't remember, don't quote me, but it's non-stealing. And the way she described it is gossip is stealing because you're stealing someone else's words. And so just checking in with that, checking in when like any kind of feelings of jealousy come up, and trying to like flip those, and just supporting the women around me, like cheering them on, like going out and telling the girl that I think is pretty that she's beautiful, because I think that she deserves to hear it, and not hiding it or like holding it in, because I'm like, she doesn't need to know that. Like, I can't tell you how many times someone has done that to me and it's like made my night. Some girls just come up to me and they're like, you're so beautiful. And it's like, wow, that feels really good. Or like, you look really happy.
Especially from another female.
From another female, yeah. It's such a beautiful thing. So one thing I've been working on this year is just like trying to just kind of generate this really awesome group of female friends. And I think one of my biggest goals is like when I hang out with people, when I interact with people, particularly women, I want them to walk away from our interaction and like feel lifted up. I want them to feel inspired, empowered, like happy. Like I just want, I don't want anyone to ever feel like, whoa, like that was
expansive, versus constricted.
Exactly. I think that's been one of my biggest goals, is just to be like a light for other people.
Totally. And I can agree with you on that wholeheartedly, because I think, especially when I was living in LA, one thing that I struggled with too is just the comparing thing with other women. And for me, I went through this period of, you know, dealing with jealousy for other women and not even knowing them yet. Yeah. And I remember there was a time where for some reason, I just was so like awestruck by the fact that women, you know, most women, granted they don't have fertility issues, can create life and like have a baby. And I literally would look at every woman and be like, you are this magical being who can create a universe inside of you. And I remember like looking at this one woman in the elevator. She didn't even know me, and I was just like thinking about this at her in my head, and just like eye-googling over her. And like, I just think it's so powerful for us to look at each other like that way. Yeah. Like, and to just come together and like combine our forces. Totally. You know? It's just about like living in this vibration of love and abundance. So if you're living in this vibration of love and abundance, then other people don't threaten you, because there's enough of everything for everyone. And if you're living in a vibration of love, it automatically attracts other people to you, and that's just like a mutually fulfilling relationship. So when you're giving and making other people and women in your life and giving them space to talk and be heard and process, like you're lifting them up, and then them wanting to be around you, it's like mutually beneficial. So then they want to be around you, and you're like, oh my god, like all these people want to be around me, like, and then you feel magnetic, which just like kind of creates more magnetism, and all of a sudden you're just full of like this exploding group of women who are just like all magnetic and happy. And like I've been experiencing that at NUNM. Like every woman that I meet, they're like so kind and open. I love NUNM for that reason. It's been incredible. Like I just don't, I feel so much positivity, and it's just like, so everyone's just so genuine and authentic, and it really goes far, and you can just like feel it when you're like, everyone is just loving each other. It just feels amazing. Like, it's so shout out to all of the amazing women I've met. If you're watching this, like, God, you guys are incredible. Thank you. Love you. We love you. Yeah, we love you guys. All right. What inspired you guys to collab? Hit it. I honestly, I don't really know. There's not like a moment. I was just feeling that I've always wanted to do something like this, and then Mia was here, and I was like, well, Mia would be the perfect person to do it. Meant to be. It was meant to be. The stars aligned, so we aligned with each other, and yeah, I was like, we have this amazing space thanks to Mia's decorating skills, and we want to share like more of ourselves with everybody, and I thought, why not do it this way? Yeah, I feel like we talked about this when I met you. Oh, I think we did. Like, this was like pretty much like we talked about something. Like, I mean, Jenny and I are just both in this world of wanting to help inspire other people to like be the best versions of themselves, and like live from this heart-centered space, and grow and become better, and really like take a hard look at themselves and see the areas that they can improve upon. I think that we both share that, so it just seemed really obvious to
start a project to kind of like get that going and moving. And
yeah. And I mean, who knows where this will take us. At the end of the day, it's just fun.
We're just having fun. Is anyone still there?
Well, we got some.
Are we rambling yet? Are we entertaining enough?
Oh, look, we hit 42 minutes.
Oh, okay, well, good. We only have one more question. And if you guys are still here, like, god damn, I fucking love you. Damn.
I love you so much if you're still here.
Oh, this is a quote.
Oh, this is my quote. That was a quote.
Did you want to read that?
At the end.
Oh, okay, cool.
I guess we are done.
That was our questions. Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Oh yeah, what's next for Crystals and Coffee?
Oh man, I think you guys should tell us.
Yeah, if you guys have any suggestions about things you want us to touch upon as far as like segments or topics, I know for me, I want to incorporate us having guests on here. Like we said, we know amazing people, and especially women at NUNM who I'd love to get on here and just share what they're working on and share with you guys. And I think that's really exciting, and also just talk more about spirituality and self-development. We can go into mystical things, we can go into practical things, and everything in between.
Yeah. I want to get my friend Kendra on here. She's a yoga teacher in Seattle.
Nice.
And she's already talked about wanting to come down and be on our show, so that's really exciting.
Oh, good.
We'll get Alex on here for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of fun.
Also, I put cook-offs live.
Cook-offs live. You want to get schooled? Yeah. That's actually a great idea. That sounds really fun. Yeah, cooking shows. We could do that.
Just share more of like nutrition stuff and food as medicine and all that. But yeah, it's gonna be fun, and I'm not sure how often we're gonna. Whatever fits.
We'll see. Maybe every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe every week.
What did we say? A goal like every 2 weeks?
Yeah, we definitely want to be on here like every 2 weeks at least to share something. This was a long one, but
yeah. But who knows, if we find time to do it once a week, that would be fun too. So
yeah, well, thanks y'all.
Oh, I want to read this.
Oh yeah.
This is just an affirmation I wanted to share with you guys that I got from Scorpio Mystique on Instagram. So it says, just wait until you see why the universe had you wait. What the universe is doing is beyond what you could ever pray for or think of.
I love that.
So just know that if you're going through a tough time right now, or if life seems like it's stagnant, that you can break through it, and on the other side, there's going to be something more exciting for you. So, all right.
Peace out.
Peace and love.